In this video, I will be providing you with a method for installing the vertical wall framing studs. Let's go ahead and get started with our layout. Now you can lay out the entire bottom board, and I would recommend that you do that. If you're going to lay it out 16 inches on center, you could use this method here, and I'm actually we call it burning 3/4 of an inch, and this would be to allow for plywood to break half on the third framing stud that's going to be at 4 foot. And you can actually just lay this out 16 inches on center, which would be 1 foot 4 inches if that's what you want to. 2 foot on center, and so on. But in this method, in this video, we are going to go 16 inches on center. And you're going to need to transfer that measurement to the template somehow so that you can figure out where to place the wall framing stud. And it's going to be a little bit longer than the top of the template here so that you can mark it. So what you're going to want to do here, when you can stand up on a ladder and get your pencil out, line everything up, and simply just make a mark here. And your mark is going to give you the angle. Now, I realize this is a curve, but you're going to be cutting a straight line here. So if this works out to where it's about a 12-degree angle, simply cut a 12-degree angle with your circular saw or whatever you are using. I went ahead and moved the wall framing stud back a little bit. Give you an idea, you would need to cut this and then install it. Install it with a screw. You can toenail it into the bottom plates. And just so I would imagine one screw would be fine for now. And then you're going to go 16 inches on center. So this edge of the wall framing stud will be the same as this one, and so on. That would be over to it. Now in between, you're going to have a 14.5 inch block. I just kind of thought I would throw that in there. You can always use blocks, like I was saying, to just put a block here. And of course, you need to double check your measurements to make sure that they are accurate. And then repeat the process. The next step would be to cut the top of the wall framing stud and then reposition it. And there you have your first 2 wall framing studs. Simply repeat the process for installing each one of the individual wall framing studs until you have completed all of them. And we can see here where the angle is. Nice cut there. And remember, each one of these angles is probably going to be a little different because of the curve. These last 3, I should say, didn't require an angle. I think this one here was a real small angle. And then, of course, we can use screws to attach them where we want them to be temporarily. Here's our layout. We removed 3/4 of an inch so that a sheet of plywood would work out. A sheet of plywood for this would be 4 foot from the edge of this to the center of this wall framing stud. This is the reason why we removed the 3/4 of an inch. You don't have to if you're not going to use plywood. You could just simply go 16 inches on center for your spacing. Now let's go ahead and install our 1x4 top plate. And to do this, you can simply start at either side and nail it in to the one side. You can use screws, but an engineer is probably going to want to see some nails on this. And you'll pull this down tight and then pull this one here down tight. And then the straight board will still be going up. Now you can actually pull this down. I've done it before. Just pull it all the way down and put a screw in it here. But sometimes as you're nailing, it's going to put pressure on this. So it's probably going to be better if you do pull it down, put some type of a clamp on it to where it can move forward or backwards. Probably going to be moving forward as you nail it down. If not, simply pull it down and nail it into these boards as you are working your way towards the top. When you're done, you should end up with something like this. And of course, you're going to want to cut the top plate here in the center because our next wall on the other side is going to need that particular wall framing stud. Nice view of it there. Let's go ahead and put our other wall in. And remember, you can build the other wall by simply starting this process over again on the other side. Now with this here, I wanted to show you something about the top plates. In the other video, I just had the two walls were identical, and if that's the case, you would need to put a strap across here. But I think you can make it stronger by simply staggering the joints. So here you can see where I took another board and I ran it over and broke it over the top of the wall framing stud on each side, and then put another piece on each side. Let's go ahead and get a close-up of that. This way, this ties all of this together. Remember, you're going to be nailing into the wall framing studs, and it might not be a bad idea to drive one nail in here on this bottom one, maybe use an 8D nail, and then use two nails here. Put two nails in through the top of both of these. And it's really not that big of a deal how many nails you have in here. But I could see where it could split something. Could split the wall framing stud or split this and weaken it. So just something to consider. And of course the brake would line up over the top of the wall framing stud so that you can put a couple of nails in at the end of the framing plates. And then of course you could nail down here. And you might end up to where these are hanging over. Let them hang over and then come back with a saw and cut it. Skill saw or circular saw, go up, cut it, and then maybe a hand saw or a sawzall to cut the other part of it there. And that gives us a nice tie where we wouldn't need any straps. And this is actually something, this is the way I would do it to make it as strong as possible. Next step would be to add the third layer and then the fourth layer, and all you would need to do is stagger them using the same. You can see where this 1x4 will be the same size as this 1x4, and these here will be the same sizes. Gives you a nice tie here. This right here really will strengthen the wall and could create a nice straight wall also, depending on the 1x4 nice and straight. And that is it for this video. So don't forget to check out the other videos. I will put links to them in the comment area to the other videos. Visit the website, go to the home building tab or the home building section, then go to the framing section, and then that should take you to the arches, and the arches will provide you with some more information on cutting these. And I'm probably going to end up sticking these walls, all the videos I made about this, also in that area if you want to check that out in the future. So that's it again, and hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. Hit the old thumbs up button.